Woo! And the rest, gentlemen, is history. After that dramatic shot to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, Kawhi Leonard, of course, led the Raptors to a win over eventual MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. Then Kawhi won Finals MVP as the Raptors prevented the Warriors from winning their third straight title. So Perk, now it's important to remember that game was tied at the time. So if Kawhi hadn't made it, the game would have gone into overtime. But he did make it. How did that change the landscape of the NBA? Do you think that if he hadn't made that shot, somehow the cards would have turned for Giannis and the Bucks to win it all?
Well, listen, Rachel. The landscape was already changed way before that shot. The landscape was changed when they acquired Kawhi Leonard, because one word comes to mind when I think about the Toronto Raptors and Masai Ujiri: risk. They took a risk in getting Kawhi Leonard, knowing that he was on his last year of his deal and that they possibly could lose him. But Masai Ujiri was like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance because I could win an NBA title. So with that being said, it ended up working out. So he took a risk. But it's like almost being in high school, Brian and Rachel. Like, you know, you go to homecoming dance every year during your high school career, and all of a sudden, you know, you get that date, that one date you go to homecoming, and you have a ball. But then your senior year come around, and you want to go for the gusto. So you want to go for the prettiest girl in the school because at the end of the day, you want to win homecoming king. And then that's what you end up doing, and you have that memory forever. So when you look back on the Toronto Raptors and what they done for us, getting Kawhi Leonard, that homecoming queen king type dude, they won, and they're going to be talked about for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, Perk, I can't relate to that analogy. But what I can say is that Kawhi Leonard is one of the most laid-back men you will ever meet. And you saw his reaction after making that shot, because in the moment, he knew how big of a moment that was for him and everybody involved with him. You know, the Bucks were ahead in that next series 2-0 and had the lead in Game 3. So, yes, it could have changed history because they ended up with the best player having to go up against him. But I have no sad feelings for the Bucks. What I will say is, I think that this game was going to get won by the Raptors in overtime anyway, and we would end up with the same champion, not to take away from the moment.
Well, look, to your point, though, whether the Raptors won on that shot or another one, Perk, I do think that the influence of the Raptors winning the title last year is it is encouraging general managers to take that risk more often. If the Raptors had been eliminated in the second round, I think GMs would have been like, they gave up all that and they just had a second-round playoff loss. The fact that they won the title is kind of setting the stage for some of the other riskiness we saw over the summer. Some big trades and deals got done. All right, I want to also talk about another anniversary, because New York Knicks hoops fans, on this date in 1985, the Knicks won the first ever NBA draft lottery. I'm not going to mention an envelope. You mentioned an envelope. They would go on to select Patrick Ewing, who led the Knicks to 13 playoff appearances, 2 finals appearances in his time with the team. Looking at the teams now, Brian, with the worst records this season, who are the New York Knicks of right now? Who most needs to land the top pick? Not who's most likely. We know the Warriors are in the pole position, but who needs the most to land the top pick?
The answer is the same. The answer is the same. The two worst teams, the Cavs and Warriors, because both of those guys need big men, and this is light on big men, heavy on guards in this draft. If you're the Knicks, a team who needs guards, you can be okay getting the 3rd or 4th pick. If you're the Cavs or Warriors, you want to get James Wiseman, you might need to have that number 1 pick.
Well, listen, Brian, I have to disagree. The New York Knicks are saying they're looking for a star. Well, I tell you what, they could draft one, and they could draft one in the kid called LaMelo Ball. He is a star in the making. He is box office. And Rachel, you know this is one of my favorite times of the year because I'm able to study these draft prospects, but I'm not able to watch college basketball. I'm not able to watch college basketball right now because of the pandemic, so I have to go to one of my sources, and I shouldn't be giving this up, but I go to Sports Talk 2319 by Rashard Phillips, and he had LaMelo Ball going to the Knicks, and I'm right there with him. Listen, this kid has played overseas. He's played on a professional level for 2.5 years, and it's time for the Knicks to get that star and not go out and try to trade or sign an old star or a star that's already in the league. Draft one, and that is LaMelo Ball.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.